Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The House will come to order. In the absence of clergy, let us pause for a moment of silence. Visitors are invited to join the members in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A quorum being present, the clerk will read the Journal of Tuesday, March 15th. Mr. Morelli.
Mr. Speaker, I move to dispense with a further reading of the Journal of Tuesday, March 15th, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Good morning, everyone. In just a moment, I will try to give some direction on our work on the floor today. Before I do that, let me just note a couple of items in history on this day, March 16th. In the year 1827, Reverend Peter Williams, Jr. and other freemen founded the first African-American owned and operated newspaper in the United States, the Freedom's Journal, which was published in New York City, 1827 on this date, March 16th. On this day in 1802, the first military school in the United States, the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, was founded by Congress for the purpose of educating and training young leaders in the theory and practice of military science. And on this day in 1926, Robert Goddard successfully launched the world's first liquid-fueled rocket operated by liquid oxygen and gasoline. The 10-foot tall rocket traveled for 2.5 seconds at a speed of about 60 miles an hour, reaching an altitude of 41 feet and landing 184 feet away. Dr. Goddard is considered the father of modern rocketry. So, with that, we will blast off on our schedule for the day.
Whoa. Oh.
I'll be here all week, folks. Members do have on their desks, the main calendar. Our principal work of the day will be to take up 5 bills in our sunshine package, including calendar numbers 142, 154, 175, 181, and 219. We will also continue our work on consent, beginning with calendar number 215. Majority members should be aware there will be the need for a party conference once our work on the floor has been completed. I will consult with the minority. As I understand it, they do not have conference needs at this point, but if there's any change, I will certainly update the members as it relates to that. All members should be aware that there will be a cycle of budget conference subcommittees today, beginning at 1 p.m. If you are a member of one of those subcommittees, please make sure that you consult with us if you haven't seen a copy of the schedule yet, and we can furnish members with that information. So with that as a general outline, Mr. Speaker, I would note if there are introductions and housekeeping, this would be the appropriate time to take those up.
Thank you, Mr. Morelli. We have introductions. Mr. Schimminger.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for suffering the interruption so that I might make an introduction. As we all might have noticed, both yesterday and today there have been a number of Catholic school principals around the Capitol. I have a particular Catholic school in my district, of several, but I have one which is represented today by its principal. Jim Muley, who's with me here, is the principal of St. Amelia Grammar School in the town of Tonawanda, which draws students from all around Erie County, Niagara County. Enrollment is some 660 fine young men and women. Jim Muley has been the principal for how many? 21. For 21 years. And I am really honored to introduce him today. And you may remember that just the other day I introduced Larry Playfair on the floor. I am equally happy, maybe even more happy, to introduce today Jim Muley. Watch this.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Schimminger, the Speaker, and all the members, Principal DeLay, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We hope that you have had a beneficial trip here to Albany, and we thank you for the work that you do in ensuring the future for our children. Thank you so very much. Mr. Finch.
Mr. Speaker, for the purpose of an introduction, actually I have the distinct honor and privilege this morning to introduce Connor McAvoy, who is here this morning being an advocate on behalf of people with disabilities. He's employed by the ARC at Warren, Washington, and Albany, this area for the ARC. He's a receptionist at their office. He's very articulate, speaking about issues involving clients and their needs. He's also here with Jennifer McCullough, who is seated back in the gallery, the lower gallery, I guess we call it right now, and also Peter J. Gattarelli. They are here to advocate and perhaps even be lobbyists to some extent for their issues. And I wish you will offer them all the privileges of this House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Finch. On the same topic, Mr. Daniel Steck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, too, would rise to welcome Peter and Jennifer here from Warren, Washington, ARC, along with Connor, who I had the pleasure of meeting with briefly just a few minutes ago. Warren, Washington, ARC is one of the largest employers in Warren, Washington counties that I represent, and they serve almost 1,000 people. In each of those counties, population 65,000. So it's a good slice of the population that needs their services. They employ about 900. As I pointed out, they're a significant employer as well. And certainly so much of what they do and what their challenges are hinge on the decisions that this body and our counterparts across the way and the governor make. Certainly as we head to budget time, it's mindful, but I certainly welcome them all to Albany. I thank them for their work and their advocacy, and I ask that you extend to them the privileges of the floor too, please.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Finch and Mr. Daniel Steck, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of floor, Connor, and your guests in behind. We hope that you have had a good time here while you visited us, but also made very intelligent points to our members to be helpful in the effort to make sure the lives of those who are disabled are made better by the state. Thank you so very much. Mr. Brabenek.
Top of the morning to you, Mr. Speaker.
Oh.
We are very proud in Orange County to have a number of airports and very proud of our history of aviation. Today we have with us the director of the Orange County Airport, a good friend of mine, Mr. Ed Magrita. Ed, please stand. And also Mr. Charles Brody, another good friend, who's the director of Randall Airport in Middletown, New York, for a number of years. They are constant advocates for the aviation industry, and they're up here trying to get some things changed. So please, on behalf of myself and my Orange County colleagues, please welcome them to Albany and give them all the cordialities of the House. Thank you very much.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Brabenek and Orange County, we welcome these advocates for aviation here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor, and as a member who represents an airport, we're always pleased to see you here and to advocate for the economic future of those airports and the betterment of our state. Thank you so very much. Ms. Lepardo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, we took up a resolution acknowledging the 40th anniversary of the New York Aviation Management Association. We're joined in the back by a number of representatives from various airports and concerns who are working with our aviation industry. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge Jeremy Martell, who's the president of that group, and other members have acknowledged some individuals who are there. We have 123 members of the Aviation Caucus. It's Aviation Awareness Day. It's a very important industry in New York State, $50 billion in annual activity, employs almost 400,000 people, and has $4.5 billion in state and local revenues and taxes. I'd like you to welcome them after another one of our colleagues says a word of welcome as well.
Certainly. Mr. McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to just join my colleagues in rising to support aviation. I think I'm the only commercial pilot that's ever served in the Assembly, and it's near and dear to my heart, of course, but it's also very close to everybody's heart around here. Aviation plays a huge role in the state economy, and last year, after a lot of effort by many members, led by my Ms. Lepardo, we got the Aviation Jobs Act passed, and the impact of that has been significant already. There are a lot of jobs associated with it. I think everybody kind of looks at corporate aviation as these rich guys flying airplanes, but those rich people flying the planes have pilots flying them, and I can tell you we weren't rich. But there's maintenance, there's catering, there's fuelers, there's all kinds of vendors associated with that, so there is a huge spin-off on aviation. And since the Aviation Jobs Act was passed just last year, we've had 2 jets come into Schenectady that were not based there. That's a significant impact in jobs to that airport. We've had millions of dollars investments in Republic Airport and a lot of interest in Orange County, so it's already showing effects. And those are some of our pretty good-sized airports, but there are a lot of little airports around this state that are going to feel that impact as well as more airplanes come home. So it was a significant achievement by the House here to get that passed, and credit to Speaker Hasty for getting that done and listening to what we were talking about. So a lot of credit to the Speaker and over to the Senate as well for getting it passed. But just want to introduce our friends and say how much we appreciate and support aviation here in the state of New York. Thank you.
Certainly. On behalf of Mr. Lepardo and Ms. Lepardo and Mr. McLaughlin, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We thank you again for your advocacy and the work that you do to ensure the economic future of our state. Thank you so very much. Mr. Mosley for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In recognition of Women's History Month and those women who are making history, I want to recognize today in our chamber some young ladies who, in my district, attend Brooklyn Technical High School, and this year won the 2015-2016 Class A City Championship for women's volleyball. As we know, Brooklyn Tech is one of the top 10 high schools in New York State. It is a model of exemplary productivity, both on the academic as well as athletic fields and courts. But we also understand that their motto is academic comes first. And this is something that is stressed daily to these student athletes through their coaches, through their parents, and through the community at large, which supports Brooklyn Tech in its athletic endeavors. I just want to congratulate Principal Asher and the entire school for all that they've done to make sure that they recognize these young people as they matriculate academically in Brooklyn Tech. Especially, I want to recognize the student athletes themselves who are here in our chamber. They consist of 6 seniors: Luana Chan, Chalisa Ferdinand, Zoe Hockenberry, Cody Fong, Jane Lin, Victoria Pionsky. They consist of 4 juniors: Sarah Flynn, Haiji Huang, Helena Kruluk, Anis Miwa, 3 sophomores: Sui Ara, Gabriela Kulchowski, and Jessica Krupa, and 1 fabulous super freshman. Alexandra Cusio. Mr. Speaker, I just want to extend, can we extend cordiality to the House as we recognize them, as well as all the trainers, faculty, and staff that are here in our chambers today. I also want to recognize the girls' badminton team who won their championship, as well as the girls' track and field 4x800. And likewise, I also like to acknowledge that we will have a joint resolution passed later in our session. So again, Mr. Speaker, if you can extend the cordiality to the House in honor of these history makers and these fine women and this fine institution.
Certainly. Mr. Gottfried, on the same topic.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, as the grandfather of a member of the Brooklyn Tech women's swim and lacrosse teams, I just want to join in congratulating these fine athletes and scholars.
Certainly. Mr. Brennan, on the same topic.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I just want to express my appreciation to Mr. Mosley for inviting these Brooklyn Tech students and the principal and their staff to come to Albany and see what is going on here and express my appreciation to all of you. Brooklyn Tech is an inspiration to the 2.7 million people in Brooklyn. Hundreds of thousands of Brooklynites have graduated and gone on to great success. We're very, very proud of Brooklyn Tech and all the students who are there now, and you're part of a great, great history. So keep it going. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ms. Simon, on the same topic.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to add my congratulations, although Brooklyn Tech is kind of across the street from my district. So many of the students at Brooklyn Tech are from my district, and I want to just send a great shout out to the young women who are here today. It is so important that we support women in athletics, and I just want to give you a very hearty congratulations and thank you.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Mosley, Mr. Gottfried, Mr. Brennan, Ms. Simon, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We call this the People's House. We extend to you the privileges of the floor, and we commend you, Brooklyn Tech, and your academic and educational achievements are worthy of note. We hope that you will learn from those achievements and carry them on into life and expand on that. Thank you so very much. Principals, teachers, and advisors, you've done a great job. Thank you so very much. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, if we would go to page 3 of the main calendar, we're going to begin with Assembly Resolution 1069 by Mrs. Gunther.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 1069, Mrs. Gunther. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim April 10th through the 16th, 2016 as the Week of the Young Child in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1070, Mr. Engelbright. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim April 2016 as Sarcoidosis Awareness Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1071, Mr. Murray. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim October 2016 as Pet Rescue Awareness Month in the state of New York.
Mr. Murray, on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to talk about this resolution because I think it's important that we recognize the trials and tribulations that these rescue organizations go through. Sometimes they're volunteering their time, sometimes putting themselves in danger and in peril
when they go to rescue an abused or neglected animal. Some cases, some of what they see is just horrific, but they do wonderful work. They take animals that either are neglected or abused, rescue them, save them, and in many cases, get them to a home where they can get the love and care that they need and deserve. But these pet rescue organizations, while they do wonderful, wonderful work, they also have their struggles, and I think it's imperative for us to spread the word that we need to help them as they struggle to find food or veterinary care or shelter or to find foster homes for these pets. So raising the awareness is the very least we can do, and I would hope everyone in the month of October will help me in spreading the word about the wonderful work that they do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to first begin by taking my hats off to my colleague Murray from the other side, from the beautiful island of Long Island. Suffolk County reminds me of Puerto Rico. You guys are 100 miles long, just like Puerto Rico is 100 miles long. I take my hats off to you and the rest of the members of this body on this very important issue. Following what my colleague just said, let me share quickly my experience. It was sometime, you all remember 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit the city of New York. I recall after October 25th, 2012, that a couple of days after, a group of ladies by an organization by the name of Foxy Ladies, their leader, Evelyn Torres, put together an operation to bring aid, help, not only to those who were affected, senior citizens, but I videotaped as they went along in the area of the Bronx where the city island that was very hard hit, and the other parts of the Bronx that people own homes by the water, how they got off the van and they began to gather all the animals that were looking for food. And they took me to an animal shelter, and I saw them at work. Now, in this body, we deal with a lot of human rights issues. So, what will I say? This is an animal rights issue. We will be inhuman if we continue to ignore, neglect that there are animals, strays, cats, dogs, looking for shelter, looking for someone to feed them, or a little bird in the morning. So today, Mr. Speaker, it got a little bit better. You know, I said Sandy hit us, and it was the second most costly hurricane in the history of hurricanes. It cost over $75 billion. I don't know if we have finished our work on Sandy, but it gets better. Then later on, I met a couple of activists by the name of Rosana Delgado, Maria Millenia, who are very active on the northern part of the Bronx, trying to bring to our attention the need for us to somehow make a contribution to help the animal rights group in bringing awareness, not only to this body, but to the governor and to others, that we need to do as much as we can. It gets better. It wasn't too soon after that my 3 grandchildren adopted 3 pets, an abandoned little dog and an abandoned 2 kittens whose mother was run over by a cat. My grandchildren, who I think are watching us, is Delilah, Milo, and Lola. And to conclude, they become part of our family. They become part of family when, whether it's a man or a woman who lost their loved one, sometimes they're replaced, and the love it comes out of a pet that they adopted. So these pets, these animals, are part of our family. So I congratulate my colleague and this body on this very important resolution, and we will do everything possible, as we should, to help those organizations get the resources they need to continue to provide a very important service that is very needed in our city. Thank you, my colleagues.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ra on the resolution.
Mr. Speaker, proud to join my colleagues and thank them for introducing and supporting this resolution to recognize the important work that is done by pet rescues throughout New York State. I had the opportunity a few years ago to adopt my first dog, Carter, who's been up here a few times with me for Animal Advocacy Day. I had him up here with me last week, and it has truly brought a lot of joy to my house, and I know that this resolution will be another opportunity for us to promote the great work done by these rescues, promote how many animals are out there looking for a loving home, and truly just recognizing this issue in New York State. So I'm very thankful for my colleague for introducing it, and I hope that we will all go back into our districts, particularly this October, and recognize the great work done by pet rescue organizations who come into our local shelters, who raise awareness, who collect supplies, and really help neglected and abandoned animals ultimately find a loving home, and they give that love back to the people that adopt them tenfold. So I'm proud to support this resolution today, and again, I thank my colleagues for supporting it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Levine.
My wife Ronnie and I did not have a dog in the summer of 2013. Years had gone by since Zoe had passed away, and we had no intention of getting a dog. And yet we were at a fundraiser for the Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons, and after a couple of glasses of wine, we met a dog whose name was Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa had been rescued from South Carolina. Mona Lisa was going to be euthanized in South Carolina, and our friend Candy Udell, who is very involved with the Animal Rescue Fund of the Hamptons, had rescued her and brought her to this the fundraiser. And again, after a little wine, after maybe more than a little wine, Mona Lisa came home with us. So Mona Lisa happens to be Mona Lisa Levine, which turns out to be the actual last name of the real Mona Lisa, and I doubt very many of us are aware of that. So Mona Lisa then went from being facing the electric chair in South Carolina to the cushy chair on Long Island. And Mona Lisa, Ronnie, and I could not be happier. So on behalf of Mona Lisa Levine, and also on behalf of the late, great Mr. Kitty, who's now in the big litter box in the sky, I want to say how pleased I am to support this particular piece of, well, it's not legislation, but this legislative resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levine. Mr. Tatone.
I just can't help thinking about all the beautiful families that are started with a little bit of wine. I think that really what we're hearing today is the importance of and the value of pet ownership and particularly pet rescue. So for those of you in this chamber or who can hear me who don't yet have a pet, trust those of us who do that your house is just a house. It's not a home until you've actually brought in your pet to share that home with you.
Thank you, Mr. Tatone. On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I indicated earlier, we're going to begin our work with calendar number 215 on page 25 of the main calendar by Mr. O'Donnell.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 5476, calendar number 215, Mr. O'Donnell, an act to amend the Estates, Powers, and Trusts Law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, just a reminder that this is our first vote of the day. We have a number of members in the base and hopefully around the chambers, and I would encourage people to cast their first vote of the day.
First vote of the day, members. Please come to the chamber and cast your vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 113, noes 9.
The bill is passed.
Assembly 5514, Calendar 216, Mr. Cusick, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect on the 90th day.
Clerk will record the vote. Mm-hmm.